Solid Foundation Israelite Academy 2019. I am your host, Shabar Judah Israel, bringing you another awesome lesson today. Please, brothers and sisters, like, comment, and subscribe, and also share the video if you will. The topic of discussion, I will be explaining some things in Matthew, the 21st chapter, beginning with verse 1. And this is talking about the wicked vine dressers. So I will be explaining not all of it, but just some of it. Matthew, the 21st chapter, beginning with, I think I said verse 1, but I want to say I'm sorry on that. I will begin with verse 33. So this is Matthew 21, beginning with verse 33. Concerning the wicked vine dressers, I will be going into it. So please, guys, you can take notes if you will, or you can just follow along. You can listen. So here we go. Matthew 21:33. Hear another parable. This is a parable. A parable is not literal. It's an illustrated story, or is similar to figurative speech, or what you would call a similitude. So this is a parable. Sometimes parables can be hard to understand, be hard to be understood. But you guys are rocking with me, so you don't have nothing to worry about. So here another parable. There was a certain householder which planted a vineyard. The householder right here is the Most High, which planted a vineyard. The vineyard is the Holy Land, Israel. And he hedged it round and about. Israel, the Holy Land. Israel's Jerusalem. Hedged it around and about. Talking about the four walls, the north, south, east, and west wall that was built around that land. And he digged the wine press in it, and he built the tower. The tower is talking about the synagogue, or the temple, which was in the Holy Land. And he let it out to the husbandman. The husbandman is the Pharisees, or what you may call pastors or preachers. And he went into a far country. You see that? Far country is a dimension that we know not of, like a far country, like the Most High dwells in a far country, like the fifth dimension, you know what I'm saying? Or what they call the third heaven. So now, the Most High, which is the householder, established the Holy Land, gave it to the Israelites, which is the vineyard, hedged it round and about, that's still talking about the construction of that land, because he built those walls around that land. He digged the wine press in it, and he built the tower. The wine press and the tower, all this together is talking about the temple that was constructed in the Holy Land. Solomon built the first temple. It took him 7 years. All right, the temple was destroyed by the Babylonians in 586, I believe, BC, somewhere around that area. And then eventually, the Israelites had to rebuild the temple, and then he let it out to the husbandman, you see. So this is all talking about that tower. The wine press in that tower is talking about the synagogue, of what you would call the temple, or some may call it the church. And he let it out to the husbandmen, which are the Pharisees, the Sadducees. He let it out to them. Basically, he left the preachers, or what you may call the pastors, or the Pharisees, which was the leaders of the Jews. He left them in charge of this tower, of this church. See? And he went into a far country. That's the Most High not being present with man. So Matthew 21:34, and it says, he went, and when the time of the fruit drew near. Now the fruit is talk about the commandments. When the time of the fruit drew near, he sent his servants to his husbandmen, that they might receive the fruits thereof. So this is talking about when it was time for the pastors, to teach the commandments to the saints, to the people. He sent his servants to the husbandman. The Most High sent his people, his servants, his saints, to the pastors to be edified, to the Pharisees to teach them. He sent his servants to these Pharisees, these Sadducees, these chief priests, these elders, basically the leaders of the Jews. He sent his servants, those Jews, to those leaders, which were the pastors, the preachers, the husbandmen, that they might receive the fruits thereof, that they might teach them the laws, statutes, and the commandments. And I know it says the fruits thereof, but yeah, the fruit represent the commandments. And if you don't believe that, I will show you this. What you see right here is a pomegranate. All right, a pomegranate. See, that represents the fruits thereof. Okay, so right here in Matthew 21:34, that they might receive the fruits. That's all in reference to the illustration of the pomegranate. All right. Now, why you may say, well, why? How can that be pomegranate? Because, guys, I don't know if you came across my video. I was explaining how the Star of David, you know, the Star of David symbolized the pomegranate. We know a star is just a ball of gas, but that shape represents the pomegranate. You see? So when you see it's the Star of David, you see that's just representing the pomegranate and also the lily flower. When I did this in previous videos, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it in this one. So the Star of David, you know, like I said, the star is just a ball of gas. They call it the Star of David, but we know stars are just balls of gas, and they don't shape like this. So this is just a shape to, it symbolizes the budding of the pomegranate, which the pomegranate is a fruit, you know. So let's go back to that. And like if you see the top of the pomegranate, let's see, you can see how the pomegranate creates the Star of David. You see the pomegranate creates the Star of David on the top of it. I know this is not a good one, but let me get a good one. So that represents the fruits thereof. Anything talking about the fruits in terms of the commandments, that represents the pomegranate. Because, yeah, I'm trying to find on the top of the pomegranate. I can show you guys. Let me get a good one. I don't want to waste too much time, but I can't find a good one. Guys, you can clearly see. You just have to check it out. See on the top of the pomegranate, that's the Star of David. If you're looking at it from a top viewpoint, you can see what I'm talking about. That's the Star of David on the top of a pomegranate. Matter of fact, you probably can type it in and it'll show it. Pomegranate, Star of David. Let's see. Yeah, see? You see how the top of it look? The top of a pomegranate. It looks like the Star of David, you know. So that's why the Jews wear that symbol, because the pomegranate, it symbolized, the pomegranate symbolized the law, statutes, and commandments. You know it's 613 laws, statutes, and commandments, right? So it's 613 laws, statutes, and commandments. And if you type in how many seeds does a pomegranate has, how many seeds are in a pomegranate, it says 613. It is a traditional. It is traditional to consume pomegranates on Rosh Hashanah. See that? Because with the numerous seeds, it symbolizes fruitfulness. Also, it is said to have 613 seeds, which corresponds with the 613 commandments of the Torah. So this is how many seeds a pomegranate has within it. See it for yourself. 613 commandments of the Torah, and then the pomegranate has 613 seeds. See? Said to have 613 seeds, which corresponds to the 613 commandments of the Torah. And so, when you go back right here, Matthew 21:34, it says, when the time of the fruit drew near, that is figurative to the pomegranate, which are the commandments, 613 commandments. When the time for the fruit drew near, he sent his servants. The Most High sent the people, the appointed people, the servants, the saints, the Israelites. He sent them to the leaders of them, the Pharisees, chief priests, elders, and so forth, that they might receive the fruits. Basically, that these elders might teach them the commandments. And we showed you how that fruit, the pomegranate, is correspond to the 613 commandments, because it has 613 seeds within it. You see, so like I said, what is the fruit? I have explained it thus far. So like I said, I don't need to go ahead. I don't need to break down the rest of it because I already did this video previously. You have to tune in to my channel and just check my videos out, and just find the video where I broke down the wicked vine dressers. And so, guys, yeah, I just wanted to do this short video concerning the fruits thereof, so you can see what it is. And to next edition, guys, see you on the other side. Solid Foundation Israelite Academy. Peace.